Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Lavina May here with the first round of the playoffs for the UBC. We barely made the playoffs this season. We made it as the last seed to make it, the sixth seed. People aren't expecting much from us, so we are planning on making a huge Cinderella run right here and hopefully come up with the championships. So this is our first round of the playoffs, and we are playing Professor Chipboard and the Bristol Bulu. I will go to his team so you guys can see why we brought certain stuff. Oops, sorry, I just moved that. You saw that, didn't mean to move that, guys. Let's see, Bristol Bulu, right there. Alright, so the Bristol Bulu were the third seed going into playoffs, which was a very good seeding, and that means that they are a very tough opponent. But yeah, I think we can pull this off. So you can see right here, the team is Necrozma, Scolipede, Delmice, Zoroark, Milotic, Lucario, Raichu, Omastar, Skarmory, Braviary, and Mega Garchomp. Last time we played them, we lost to Scolipede, Baton Passing Speed, and to stuff like Mega Garchomp. So we're hoping not to lose to that this time. So you guys see week one right here. Tough 4-0 loss for us. But yeah, I'm just going to run through our team, and I'll show you guys why we brought what. So first thing we have is Xurkitree with Sub, Tail Glow, Thunderbolt, and Dazzling Gleam, and Leftovers. So obviously Leftovers is to heal off that Sub damage. And this set is because I outspeed a lot of his team. I'll just run through really quickly. Necrozma, Delmice, Milotic, Omastar, Skarmory, Braviary. Basically, and do I outspeed Chomp? I don't know. Do I outspeed Mega Garchomp? Let's see, I have 83. I don't think I do. Garchomp, sorry guys. Let's just check my Garchomp speed. I actually have a better idea. Right here, /DT Mega Garchomp. So he has 92, so yeah, no, we do not outspeed Mega Garchomp. We outspeed the other stuff. So we basically outspeed a lot of his walls, and we actually are the biggest threat to a lot of his walls. So I figured that I could switch into his walls, get a sub off, and then get some damage off on whatever fast Pokemon he switches in to kill us, because he doesn't really have any walls that can really do much to us. Other than like Delmice and kind of Necrozma, but not really with our set. So that was the plan. And then obviously Tail Glow is just in case you have the opportunity to set up, we can set up and get to that +3 special attack, which puts him at a crazy, like, let's see, 2.5 will be, let's see, 990, over 1,000. Let's just leave it at that. So that's really, like, crazy, but that's just a little side thing. Really, we just know that Thunderbolts and Dazzling Gleam can really do a lot to his Pokemon. Because, like, obviously Thunderbolt will hit really hard being stabbed and having such high special attack, and Dazzling Gleam is for the Mega Chomp. So that's why we have that. Next we have Gliscor. Gliscor is our main physical wall. As you guys can see, I kind of just decided to bring the Smogon set because I did not want to build this. It would have been really annoying. I could have went like max defense, like I don't know, but I thought, you know what, Smogon set, let's just go with you. So we got, because I just needed a physical wall to switch in on Scolipede, physical Lucario, kind of Skarmory, but not really, Braviary, and Mega Chomp if it's physical. So I kind of need a physical wall, which is why I brought this. And he's got Toxic, Earthquake, Roost, and Protect, which is good enough to really touch every single Pokemon, because obviously Toxic can Toxic everything except for Skarm and Lucario, and EQ kills Lucario. Only real threat is the Skarm, so I guess I was not switching for Skarm, but we have other stuff for that, as you guys will see, including our big offensive threat that we really want to switch in the Skarmory so that we can get in our Zerk and get a sub up. So yeah, that's why we have Gliscor. Next we got Hawlucha, which is really a late game sweeper. He has enough speed to outspeed a base, no plus speed Scolipede. Just in case you thought, you know, I'm going to switch in Scolipede, but I don't have Protect, so I'm just going to hopefully be able to outspeed and hit him. But yeah, that's why he can't do that. And then we got Sub, High Jump Kick, Acrobatics, and Swords Dance. This thing really, and with a Lychee Berry. Lychee Berry raises attack by 1 stage when at 1/4 max HP or less. Then obviously Sub, you know, that's to get us to that 1/4. High Jump Kick, obviously just super strong stab, 130 base attack, 130 power. Acrobatics, after we lose that Lychee Berry, we'll be able to hit hard 110. And obviously Swords Dance to set up and get stronger just in case. So yeah, And this thing really can do a lot of work to his team. It will kill Scolipede, Delmice, Zoroark, Milotic after setting up, Lucario, Raichu, Omastar, Skarmory after setting up, Braviary, and Megachomp after setting up. Only thing it doesn't do much to is the Necrozma, but even after but if I can set up before he gets the Necrozma in, we're in pretty good shape, especially if we're behind a sub. Next, we got Azelf with Psychium Z, and Nasty Plot, Dazzling Gleam, Psyshock, and Fire Blast. This is really just to have really good coverage to hit a bunch of stuff, and the Psyshock is just in case I need to hit something really hard. I wasn't really sure if I would need it, but like let's say switching like Delmice or something, and I feel like that could kill it. Instead of Fire Blast, I can go with Psyshock, but just stuff like that. So yeah, that's why we have this. Only thing that he can, a Nasty Plot to set up. Only thing he can really switch into this is the Necrozma, and the Zoroark. I'm not expecting to bring the Zoroark because Zoroark is not a great Pokemon. I haven't seen him bring it many times. As you guys can see, it's 2 kills, 4 deaths. That's not a very good record to bring to a playoff match. So yeah, that's why we have this. And even if he brings in the Zoroark, as long as we know it's Zoroark, we can just Dazzling Gleam and kill it. So yeah, and then the Necrozma can't do much to us, and after we set up, we should be able to kill it with Dazzling Gleam, which do a lot of damage. And I was trying to decide between Psychium and Ferium, and I thought Psychium would put in more work just because there's more stuff that we would need to hit hard, like that Milotic. And just really just have a really strong attack in the back if we need it. Then next we got the Mimikyu with Substitute, Swords Dance, Play Rough, and Shadow Sneak. Max speed, 252 attack, because with max speed we do outspeed Chomp. So that's nice, and then obviously Shadow Sneak, we have that nice priority to hit stuff that we don't normally outspeed. Only thing that really bothers us is Delmice, but if we have not lost our Disguise, then I can really get a good hit off on Delmice and then switch out into something that can deal with a little better like the Gliscor. So yeah, that's why we have that. I just also didn't want to get swept by the Baton Pass into the Garchomp, and that's why we have it, so that because of the Disguise, he won't be able to kill us in one shot. Then, next, and last but not least, we have Toxapex, which is Toxic Spikes, Recover, Scald, and Ice Beam. And another bulky defensive Pokemon, because I was looking, and he doesn't really have much, especially offensive. His special offense consists of Necrozma, which Psyshock is what he would use, which hits defensively, most likely. Delmice, actually not Delmice, what am I saying? Zoroark, Lucario fits special, Raichu, Omastar, and special Mega Garchomp. So I figured that a physically defensive Toxapex would be pretty nice, because it can take a hit and deal some damage. And the Toxic Spike's there, because obviously since he has Scolipede, we can't necessarily Toxic stuff like that, but if we can somehow kill the Scolipede, which we really need to do if we want to win this, then we can set up those Toxic Spikes and start Toxic and stuff and killing them that way. So yeah, that is our team. And now, I'm sorry I said post-com, we will go into our battle. Music is off, perfect. And we will play, I'm going to switch sides. So he led with the Omastar, we led with the Azelf, because I figured, looking at his whole team, Azelf beat everything 1v1, just based on its set. So that's why I did that. And this is where I use my Z Psychium to hit him with Super Shattered Psyche, which he lives because of the Sash, and he does not go for the Shell Smash. My guess is that he probably might have thought, since I was leading, that I was lead Azelf with Stealth Rocks, which I was not. So that was good on our part. And Azelf just went in and killed with the Dazzling Gleam. I don't know why I used Dazzling Gleam. Probably still let if he switched into Necrozma, I could hit it. But yeah, because that was the only thing that I really needed to hit, because if he switched into Chomp, it wouldn't have been too much of a problem because we outspeed and we can, actually Dazzling Gleam will hit Chomp, what am I saying? If we switch into something like Skarmory, we could just deal some damage to break the Sturdy and then just go Fire Blasting, probably kill, because Skarmory does not have great special defense. Next was in a Danger Mouse. And here I decided to stay in because I thought, you know what, I'm about to figure out what set this guy is, because if he's Scarfed, he'll obviously outspeed me and kill me, and then I can switch into something else. But if he's not Scarfed, then we're going to get some damage off on it, which will be nice. Because looking at his team, if Scolipede gets to +1 even, we aren't in good shape. Chomp, we have other stuff for. Skarmory doesn't do too much. Like, obviously I can use Fire Blast, but we have other stuff that can kind of deal with it, like Zerk. So I figured it wasn't a huge thing that I kept this thing alive, even though it could get a nice late game sweep. I figured at this point it wasn't too great, so I just went for the Psyshock to deal some damage. And he just went knockoff, which showed me that he was physical Raichu, which was interesting because I have not seen physical. And I made a huge mistake here. I thought he was physical, so I went into... Oh wait, never mind. I went to Hawlucha because I outsped. That was smart on my part. I thought I made a mistake there, but I guess not. I made a mistake at some other point. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, I went into Hawlucha. He thought, you know what, he probably outspeeds me, so he switched out into Skarm because that's his physical wall. And I was able to just get a high jump kick off because I knew that he was going to switch. There was no way he was staying in. If he did, I was going to be able to kill. So I just went high jump kick to get damage on whatever he switched in. And when he switched into Skarm, I just switched out right into Zerk because I knew I needed to deal with the Skarm one way or another. And he goes Stealth Rock. And at this point, what do I do? We'll see in a second. At this point, I hopefully predicted that switch. Oh, never mind, it's sub. Forgot my set. Wow, guys, I'm very dumb. Yeah, I went sub, which is what the point of this thing was, because he could just sub up whenever he had a wall in that I could kind of threaten, and then he would be able to get a free hit off on something, which was very nice. And he only has a few threats, and of course, he has to be the Encore set for the Raichu, so I was not able to fire off a Dazzling Gleam, which would have been super nice, but it's okay. At this point, this is where I made the mistake. I don't know what I should have done here, but not what I did. I switched into Gliscor. I don't know why I thought he would go for something that's not knockoff. I could have probably stayed in there or something and just taken the knockoff at the end of the sub and seen what happened. But I don't know, there wasn't much I could do at this point, so I just switched into Gliscor, which is really dumb because that means you gotta knock off my Toxicroak, so now Gliscor was not able to heal, even though it does have Roost. Actually, when I saw this Danger Mouse, this Raichu, I was super happy, because if you look at his team, his possible special attackers are that Omastar, which is dead, the Krozma, which probably use Psyshock as its main attacking move, Raichu, if I didn't say that already, and Garchomp. We just figured out that one of his Pokemon that could be special is physical, which means that our walls are going to be able to do even better. So he switched out when he saw the Gliscor switch and went into Scythe, and I went into Earthquake just because I figured I need to kill this thing, and if not kill it, then I need something else to do stuff. So yeah, and he Mega Evolves, and he is special. So just my luck, he happens to be the special Garchomp, which means that he goes HP Ice. And you know what, I don't mind special Garchomp that much because it doesn't really threaten me. It's not a very strong attacker to be completely. It's obviously as strong as like 130 base special attack or something, but I think that physical with sub Swords Dance or something like that is a whole lot more threatening than special. Although I've ran special before because you sometimes need to. But yeah. So we got Toxic off, which was nice. And I just sacked off Gliscor here because I figured, you know what, he got that. He got me there. And if I can't switch anything into that. So I sacked that off. And I went into Mimikyu here. And yeah, went Swords Dance. And Adam's calling me a miracle worker. Not going to ruin that for you guys. So yeah, he goes EQ. And I get my Swords Dance off, which was nice. I figured I would be able to hit stuff pretty hard if I got Swords Dance off. And here I went for probably Play Rough. Yeah, I went for Play Rough. Yeah, so that was nice. Didn't do too much. And yeah, then I just went for Shadow Sneak. I don't know why I'm being so dumb. And he just ruined it for you guys. But hopefully you guys didn't see that, or you guys aren't watching until now. So yeah, he goes 55%, and I thought, you know, I'm just gonna set up one more time and see what I can do. Shadow Sneak does 30% there, still not a lot. He just goes Flare Bird again to do some damage. I could have probably switched into Toxtrite. That would have probably been the smart switch, but I'm not smart all the time. This was not my best match. So yeah, we sacked off Mimikyu there for some reason. And I went into Zerk because I knew that he was going to be having to switch out because he's not staying in against my Zerk. And I just went for Dazzling Gleam because I knew he was going to come into Danger Mouse again, expecting my sub, and he would basically kill me because he was just Encore and I have to switch out again. So that was a smart play on my part. And I got the Dazzling Gleam off and got that attack boost. Yeah, then he goes into Mega Garchomp, which at this point I was kind of worried because he was probably able to outspeed me, to be completely honest. And so I switched out into Toxapex, which eats that outrage because he happens to be mixed. I thought he was special, to be completely honest, but it turns out that he was mixed, which is even better for us because again, we had a lot of physical walls, not really any specials. So yeah, we had a Toxapex, and since he didn't go for a ground type move, probably expecting the Hawlucha switch, we were able to eat that. And then he went Outrage again, does 39%, and I knew I was going to have to recover here. I was hoping that he would either get confused or something, but I knew he was going to get really low here, so I'd have a good chance to fire off an attack. And if he was confused, that was even better. So I was able to fire off another recover here, because I was looking, and I don't know why I did this, guys. It's because he was stuck and Toxic killed. That's why. If he had gotten confused last turn, then I would have had to play that very differently. But he did not, which was good. And he goes right into Space Invader, which goes Swords Dance, and we go Scald, and we get the burn, which was huge. Again, another, look at that. Special attacker right there, that was actually physical. Special attacker, I thought was special attacker, but not really, it was physical, and special. He had one special attacker. So that was super nice, and Cycle Cut to 0 because of that burn, which was nice. And I just started firing off Scalds because I wasn't sure what his set was at this point. I just knew that he was physical, and I knew that I had to play around this thing or I was going to lose, especially because of what he had left. So I just recovered here to gain my health back. And right here, he goes Swords Dance again. Also, at this point, I looked, and you know what? As good as Toxapex is against the Scolipede and the Scarm, I have other stuff that can beat it. So I was able to stay in, even though if he switched into the Scolipede or something, we were in trouble. And the way that he's playing right now, he's setting up, and this was probably not the smartest thing for me to do, but I didn't know what to switch it to because I did not know what he was going to do. So yeah, he goes SD again. He gets to +6, I think is what it is when you're max. And here, I made a very risky play. I switched out, expecting him to recover, which he happened to recover. Yeah, so that was super nice. And I'm into Zerk right now, because I knew I needed to deal damage to him, so I went T-Bolt. Again, probably not the smartest thing, but I knew I needed to get damage off, and that was the way I was going to do it. And he was Cycle Cut and just completely wrecks me right there. Goes down to 28%, and I go into Hawlucha because I figured, you know what, I can get into my 25% range and then be able to kill with Acrobatics. So I sub. He goes Psycho, he goes Moonlighting, and he heals back his health, which was smart on his part, not smart on our part. But I knew here I outsped, so I just went Swords Dance to start setting up because I knew there was no way that he was going to be able to play around this thing, to be completely honest. Especially once I lost my item. But I just went for sub again because I knew I needed to get into my range, and that sub worked perfectly. And I was scared that he was Whirlwind, which he most likely was. But yeah, he switched out, which made no sense to me, into the Tick, which I got to high jump kick. I don't know why he did that. Maybe because actually that makes sense. I killed him at +2. So yeah. +2, we go Acrobatics here. Even though we haven't lost our Berry yet, it still does really solid damage, which is really nice. And the Tick goes down. He goes into Skarmory here. And then it came down to a high jump kick hitting or missing. And it hit. And it killed. I think it was a roll, which is crazy. But yeah, at this point, it was a roll, and I was just like, yes, I got this game. He decided to attack me instead of recover there. And that put him into range for Hawlucha to come and kill with the Acrobatics. That was way too close for me for my comfort. But yeah. So that was our first fight of the playoffs. Second one will come to you when it comes out. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We made it to the semifinals as the last seed to make the playoffs, which is super awesome. And Cinderella story will live. I know it, guys. We got this. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And keep on watching for our next battle in the semifinals against Zamcro, who was the #1 seed. So it's going to be a tough fight. Won't deny that. But I think we can do this, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Peace out, YouTube.